From its humble beginnings on the PlayStation 2 to its modern iterations now 20 years later, the Yakuza series, also known as the Like a Dragon series, has captivated players with its unique blend of hard-hitting action, emotional storytelling, and sometimes downright bizarre charm. So in this video, I'm chatting about what I consider to be the best Yakuza games that define the series' legacy. So whether you're a seasoned Tojo clan veteran or a newcomer curious about the underworld of Kamurocho, stick around because I'm going to be diving into the titles that I think make this franchise an unforgettable ride. So before we get to the list of the best Yakuza games, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Yakuza series. What is your favorite game? What do you think are the best games in the series? I would love to know. So let's get to the first and maybe best one on the entire list today. Let's go. So let's start off with what I consider to be the best Yakuza game, point blank. This was number 1 on my Yakuza ranking video. It is my favorite game in the series, and that is Yakuza 0. So not only just by me, Yakuza 0 is often regarded as one of the best games in the series because it serves as the perfect entry point while also delivering an exceptionally well-crafted story, gameplay, and setting. As a prequel to the franchise, it introduces you to younger versions of Kiryu Kazuma and Majima Goro, providing deeper character development that really enhances the emotional weight of the later games. Now, the game's 1988 setting in Kamurocho and Sotenbori is dripping with neon-lit nostalgia, capturing the economic bubble era of Japan in a way that really makes the world feel alive. The gripping crime drama, full of betrayals, twists, and heartfelt moments, is arguably one of the strongest narratives in the series, making every interaction with its colorful cast of characters pretty meaningful. And beyond its storytelling, Yakuza 0 refines and expands the series' combat and side content, making it one of the most enjoyable entries from a pure gameplay perspective. Both Kiryu and Majima have 3 distinct fighting styles that you can switch between on the fly, allowing for some satisfying fighting. Combat is smooth and packed with over-the-top heat actions that make every single street fight entertaining. And the side content is some of the series' best, featuring an abundance of quirky sub-stories and mini-games and side activities. These diversions are so engaging that honestly, if you get into the side stuff, you're going to spend a lot of hours simply just enjoying the side content before even returning to the main story. Now, what truly sets Yakuza 0 apart is its ability to balance the intense emotional storytelling with the absurd comedic moments. 1 minute you're watching a heartbreaking cutscene. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just so funny. You're watching a cutscene about loyalty and betrayal. The next, you're seeing somebody named Mr. Libido walking around. It's just like the most random stuff you'll ever see, but it's perfect in these Yakuza games. So it's that tonal balance that makes Yakuza 0 such a unique experience. It never feels jarring, but instead just makes the world feel richer and more dynamic by offering you the best of everything the Yakuza series has to offer. Compelling drama, exhilarating combat, and hilarious side content in a vibrant world, Yakuza 0 stands out as one of the best entries, if not the best, in the entire franchise. Now let's fast forward to another pivotal moment in the Yakuza series, and that is Yakuza Like a Dragon, the 7th mainline entry. And this is one of the best entries in the series because it successfully reinvents the franchise while staying true to its core strengths. Now here we had the introduction of a new protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga, bringing a fresh perspective that really resonates with newcomers and longtime fans. And full transparency, this was actually my first game in the Yakuza series, and I went on this whole rabbit hole of playing this, Infinite Wealth, and then playing every single game. But I will say this is a great entry point if you are coming in completely blind. Now, unlike Kiryu, who is very stoic and composed, Ichiban is an enthusiastic underdog with an infectious optimism that really makes his journey incredibly compelling. His story of betrayal, perseverance, and found family is deeply emotional, creating some of the most heartfelt moments in the entire series. By shifting the setting to Yokohama, the game also expands the world of Yakuza, offering a vibrant and diverse city to explore with new factions, businesses, and side activities. Now, one of the boldest and I would say maybe most successful changes in the series at this point is its transition to turn-based RPG combat. Of course, while previous entries had real-time brawling and street fighting, this game had a party-based system inspired by classic JRPGs. And it all makes sense because Ichiban is really a die-hard Dragon Quest fan, and everything he views is from like a turn-based angle. So yeah, it all makes sense. And as expected, the combat still retains the series' signature chaos and humor with absurd special moves, and the RPG mechanics, including character progression, equipment, and team synergy, add layers of depth and strategy, making every battle engaging. Now, the shift in gameplay not only reinvigorates the franchise, but also opened it up to a new audience that may prefer RPG mechanics over beat-em-up action. And again, this is what got me into the series. I like turn-based games. I figured, let's try this out. And then, of course, I played the rest of the series, but I really think that the turn-based combat here is a great entry point for those of you who might not like action games. Now, despite its major gameplay changes, Like a Dragon still embraces the series' signature mix of gripping drama and ridiculous humor. The story is filled with intense crime drama moments, political intrigue, and deep character relationships, but yet it seamlessly blends in some of those classic absurd side quests, hilarious minigames, and bizarre scenarios that really make this series so unique. The bonds that Ichiban forms with his party members also give you an extra layer of depth, making you feel more connected to the world and the characters than ever before. So by taking bold risks while maintaining the heart and soul of what makes Yakuza special, Like a Dragon stands as one of the best and most memorable entries in the franchise. Now, if you haven't played a Yakuza game yet, I would encourage you to do so by checking some of these games out on PC or Steam Deck. This is the best and most accessible way to get into the series, and I binged the entire series on Steam Deck last year. I loved every second of it. So if you want to check out some of these games that I'm talking about today, make sure you go down to the description, click the links, and pick up some of these games to help support the channel. Now, I know this next one is going to have the WTF factor or the why is this here factor for some of the diehard Yakuza fans who might not like this one as much. But I have to say, Yakuza 4 really earns its place among the best in the series by introducing a groundbreaking multi-protagonist structure that expands the storytelling scope beyond Kiryu alone. Now, I will say I did kind of struggle whether or not to choose 5 or 4, but in the end I ended up picking 4. I'll tell you guys why I chose 4 over 5 soon. Yakuza 4 weaves together the perspectives of 4 playable characters. Of course, we have Kiryu, the stoic ex-Yakuza. Now, one of my favorite characters here is Akiyama-shun, a laid-back loan shark with a heart of gold. I would love to see more from him in the series going forward, fingers crossed. Saejima Taiga, a hulking fugitive seeking redemption, and Tanimura, a cop, playing an interesting role in the story. Now, the diversity not only refreshes the formula after 3 Kiryu-focused games, but also deepens the world of Kamurocho by showing it through fresh eyes, making Yakuza 4 a bold evolution that balances individual character arcs with a cohesive, high-stakes plot. The gameplay in Yakuza 4 shines through its variety, with each protagonist offering a distinct combat style that keeps encounters dynamic and engaging. The game also expands the city itself, introducing rooftop navigation and underground areas, which give you a new way to experience the familiar district. While it's not as polished as some of the later entries, I really got to respect the experimentation with trying something different and really showcase the series' willingness to push boundaries, which I really admire. What really elevates Yakuza 4 further is its raw ambition and the emotional weight it brings to the franchise's legacy. I would say that Yakuza 3 and 4 really were a transitional chapter of the series that bridged the PlayStation 2 era roots with some of the more refined systems that we would see in later games. The story's focus is on loyalty, betrayal, and unlikely alliances, culminating in a climactic showdown atop the Millennium Tower, really driven home by some of the best voiceover performances I've heard in games, and that's not just limited to Yakuza 4. I love the voiceover work, the voice performances in the entire Yakuza series, especially the Japanese stuff. It just makes these characters feel alive. And yes, Yakuza 4 isn't perfect. I mean, some of the pacing is off, but I gotta say, I love the heart and the scale of this game, and in my opinion, Yakuza 4 stands out as a testament to the series' storytelling prowess and its ability to juggle multiple perspectives without losing the soul of what makes Kamurocho's underworld so captivating. Now, why did I decide to choose this over Yakuza 5? Yakuza 5 was a really big game. It was a long game. Yakuza 4 has 4 perspectives, 4 characters. Yakuza 5 has 5 characters and 5 perspectives. It all culminates in a great ending, but I just felt that 5 was a little bit too drawn out, and some of the story wasn't totally awesome. I'll cap it at that, but I just prefer 4 to 5 purely from a story and gameplay perspective. Yakuza 5 is still a great game, though. Coming up next is Yakuza Kiwami, one of the best entries in the Yakuza series because it serves as an excellent modernized remake of the original 2005 game, introducing the story of Kiryu Kazuma to a new generation of players. So whether you're playing like the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One version of the game or the more recent Switch version of the game, this is a really great entry point into the series if you're wanting to start game number 1 and then play a few and then go back to 0. There's multiple ways that you can enter the series. With the power of the Dragon engine, Kiwami enhances the visuals, refines the combat, making the experience far more immersive than the PlayStation 2 original. The game retains the gripping story of Kiryu taking the fall for his best friend, spending over a decade in prison, and returning to a changed Kamurocho, all while having Haruka by his side and uncovering the mystery surrounding the missing 10 billion yen. The core narrative is filled with betrayal, redemption, and honor. It remains one of the strongest in the series, and Kiwami brings it to life with new depth and polish. One of Yakuza Kiwami's biggest strengths is its refined combat system, which of course it had a lot more time to cook, as the kids say, and develop a little bit from the original game. So we have multiple fighting styles and some new mechanics and some new finishers. These allow for Kiryu to unleash some devastating attacks, and these really allow for Kiryu's combat to shine and really take center stage during the battles. And the addition of Majima everywhere is another standout feature, keeping players looking behind their shoulders as we search for Majima, because he ambushes Kiryu in some of the most unpredictable and often hilarious ways. So this mechanic not only serves as a fun challenge, but also deepens Majima's character, showing his obsession with Kiryu and expanding his role beyond what was present in the original game. Beyond its combat and storytelling, Yakuza Kiwami really just shines with its wealth of side content, really revitalizing the city of Kamurocho and making it a really great entry point for fans in the series if you don't want to start with Yakuza 0. And lastly on the list, we have Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. This game really took me by surprise. It delivered one of the most deeply personal and emotional stories in the entire series, and more or less serves as a conclusion to Kiryu's journey. Unlike some of the previous games which focused on large-scale Yakuza conflicts, Yakuza 6 narrows its focus to Kiryu's relationship with Haruka and her newborn son, Haruto. This shift in narrative direction made the story feel more intimate and heartfelt, giving Kiryu a new purpose beyond the criminal underworld. The emotional weight of the story, combined with the stellar performances of the voice actors and the cinematic storytelling, ensures that Yakuza 6 is one of the most powerful in the franchise. I also really like Yakuza 6 here because I suppose maybe this is better appreciated at the time that the game came out, but the Dragon engine, which was a major technological leap for the franchise at the time. The seamless transition between combat and exploration and detailed facial animations really made the world feel more immersive than ever before. And additionally, the introduction of Onomichi, a beautiful realized coastal town in Hiroshima, provides refreshing contrast to the neon-lit chaos of Kamurocho and allows for some of the most heartfelt storytelling in the series. Beyond its gripping story and technological advancements, the refined combat system makes fights feel brutal and weighty, with fewer style-switching mechanics, but a greater emphasis on fluidity and environmental interaction. And of course, we had some other side activities like the clan creator, giving you a lot of variety and replay value. Now, despite some streamlining compared to the earlier games like 4 and 5, for example, Yakuza 6 retains the series' signature balance of serious crime drama and ridiculous fun. As a result, it serves as a fitting and satisfying send-off to Kiryu's story, cementing its place as one of the best Yakuza games in the series. So that's it for the best Yakuza games. I could have included probably one or two more, but I wanted to keep the video a bit shorter. And yes, I know I probably should have included Judgment, but it's parallel to Yakuza, so not really to be included in today's video. But I did talk about Judgment a couple months ago, so make sure you hit that video. I'll leave a link down below in the description or an annotation up there. So thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again on another video next week. Bye-bye.